To load the U-boat, you're going to need the VMod tool gun. You're going to push tab to open the menu, and then you're going to go to the schematic tab. This file right here, we're going to load it, and now we just need to point it at something, and oops, it looks like I pointed it underwater, and I can't access it very well, which if you happen to do yourself, there's an easy fix. While standing near it and looking at it, do the command of vs get ship and just run it, and then now you'll get it slug. And so if you go back up somewhere else, you can do vs teleport here, and so now it's been teleported in the area. And when you first load it in, the weight is probably going to be all out of whack. So just stick a ship helm somewhere, and then come here and flick this lever a couple times. And then that should reset all the weight, and it's going to float back to the surface of the water, assuming it's in water. If it still hasn't fully sorted out the weight, like here it's not really floating quite at the correct height, you may want to relog. Then there you go. See, look, it has fixed itself now. So once it's done that, you can get rid of the ship helm. You don't need the ship helm anymore. And you can also get rid of this backup block. Just make sure it's working by flicking this lever. And if this thing is assembled, then yes, it's working. That's for that. Let's assemble the deck gun now. So just make sure that it's got the glue. Looks like it does. So just spin this. And then come down here, you're going to need to rebuild this cannon, most likely. Now you can assemble it, and then put a shaft here, put the valve handle here. Now you can, well, if you can't spin it with the valve handle, you're going to have to go into the crate mod settings, go to gameplay settings, go to kinetics, I think, stress values, impact, or capacity. Oh no, capacity, copper valve handle. Change the capacity to like 32 or something. I think it's been a long time since I did this. Yeah. Now it makes plenty of stress. You could even lower it some. That's just so you can spin that. Then to shoot it, just get a medium cannon cartridge, open it up, stick it in there, and then push the button, and it shoots. And you just reload it manually like that. While we're outside the submarine, you're going to come down here. Click this to assemble that propeller. Click this to assemble that propeller. Come to the front. Click that to assemble the radar in the front, and there's one more thing that needs to be assembled that you have to assemble from down here. You're gonna click this and that'll assemble that. There was some ghost power here, which sometimes happens. If there is ghost power, you might just need to flick the engine lever and then turn it on and off, and it'll get rid of it, which it should now. There should be no power going anywhere here. Yeah, nothing is on now. But now we actually want to turn the engines on, so I come into the back room and flick both those levers to turn both the engines on. Now everything should be receiving power. Looks like this thing just didn't realize it was supposed to be powered, so you have to flick that. That is the steering lever right there. Now the steering propeller is not on anymore. Actual propellers are not on either. If you want to, let's see, turn the propellers on, come down here and start depowering this until it's at 0, and that's when the propellers will be at their maximum strength. We actually are going to upgrade the propellers slightly. They probably already will be upgraded when you're schematic. We are going to add 2 more sails onto the sides of these propellers. Let's see, now reform them now that I have 4 on each side. Back in here, let's redo that. We seem to be in reverse right now, which is fine, but if you want to go forward, flick that, and now you're going to be going forward. If you want to steer, you're going to turn this to the right, it'll steer you to the right. You'll see we start getting dragged this way. Yep. And if you want to steer to the left, of course, just flick it all the way over to the left. It's literally just the orientation in which it's pointed based off when you're looking toward the front. So this thing is not displaying the radar, so try breaking and replacing it and see if it shows up. If not, oh wait, it did show up, cool. That's just the static radar in the front. Get rid of the torpedo in here because this was assembled with the bad assembling system, not the good one. Now we're ready to use the proper one. If you saw the main video, you're probably familiar with me messing up the torpedo system and thinking it wasn't working. Well, which it wasn't working, but it's because I didn't realize torpedo cores actually have a front and a back, like the other parts of the torpedo. I didn't think they did, but upon closer inspection, after it being pointed out, you can see the texture is actually darker there and lighter here, signifying a front and a back. And when this first gets placed here, it is in the wrong orientation. It's inverted. But luckily, this is one of the easiest fixes ever because we already have these two mechanical bearings right here, which spin the other parts of the torpedo the right way around. All we have to do to make it work is actually just add a mechanical bearing there so that all three pieces get spun around. Believe it or not, that's actually all it takes. So once you have that fixed, you can hit this controller here. You can hit shift, and that's going to go up there. Now it's spun it all the way around, and it just gets sent up there. And believe it or not, it will work when we hit spacebar. See, so torpedo auto loading does work. Glad that I left a little bit of wiggle room in case there was something I was missing, which there was. It's a subtle difference, but there is a front and a back, and that will prevent the torpedoes from being formed. Either way, that's how the torpedo auto loading works. And so now let's just go take a look at the diving feature. So if we wanted to dive, we would first want to set the depth that we want to dive to. So let's just say we want to dive like 10 blocks because we're already at 100. We don't want to go that far down. If you want to dive, first switch this, the level you want to dive to, flick that lever, and now we are going to start descending. We are not diving for a hilarious reason. Nothing's wrong with the submarine, it's just the hitbox of the submarine just collided with the hitbox of the battleship, and it's doing the thing where it then freezes both physics entities, which means that you have to do the ship slug, you have to get the slug, and then you have to teleport it out of the way. It was just going in reverse this whole time, and I didn't notice, and it backed right up into the ship. I guess I will stop the propellers. Either way, now, if I were to flick this lever, we will start diving. As you can see, we are descending. And we will descend only a brief distance until the system trips, and it starts trying to keep us at around 90 blocks. See, there it goes. It stopped, and it bounced just a little bit, and now we're going to basically be sitting here. If you want to dive further, just drop this, like another 20 blocks, and we're going to start sinking even further. But if at any point you want to surface, pull this lever, and you will immediately surface. It's much faster than diving. But there you go. That's how you set up the U-boat. Hopefully that helps some, and happy merchant raiding.